awake, or whatever it is that you're doing. And for some of us, it's taking our last breath. And I wanted to talk about that, the talk of how united we really are as human beings. You know, we all suffer. We all have to bleed, and we all have to go through really difficult moments in our lives, and that's where we're not different. That's where we're exactly the same. We're all so diverse in our outlooks, and our outlooks are all shaped by a certain influence or a genetic component, whatnot, and we're all looking at life through very different lenses. And a lot of the arguments and really things that really kind of I guess hold dear in my heart, because I see a lot of myself in that, is that we sometimes can hold grudges forever, and we can, you know, we sit there in our validated story because we see it this way, that other person doesn't see it that way. We condemn them and sometimes never speak to them forever, which is it's so sad to me. And it's for me, it's recognizing that we are really not, we are one, really one of the same, just very diverse stories. And I have to remind myself of that even when I'm, you know, interacting and reacting, especially with people that I love the most, that sort of, you know, I guess stir up an emotion in me that makes me react. That I have to remind myself that it isn't my life about me. It's a life of many, and that I have to remind myself that I could be more than likely wrong in my outlook, especially when it comes to, you know, the idea that someone else owes you something, or somebody else should be acting a certain way towards us, because, you know, and then it's logic to us for them to assume, but they can't see how we think. Nobody can see how we actually think, and what we hold grudges against. And I have this wish that we can all just really communicate from a heart space, and often we don't. We communicate from a reactive heart space, a reactive moment where we're, how dare you do this to me kind of attitude, and only because that other person we feel is being insensitive. But maybe they're not. Maybe they're just looking at life through their own lenses, and their lens is very different to our lens. So I think we need to learn to be gentle with ourselves and others, constantly reminding ourselves, this is me having a reaction. It is nothing to do with them. It's us, me, myself. Everything is reflected. Whatever I see out there is a reflection of my own mind and my own doing. It's not of someone else's mind, and that's where I need to question. I need to question my own mind and try to understand why I believe that the other person should act according to my own set of rules. Because anyone can, you know, if we're coming from a loving space, we can communicate to another person from a loving space. We don't have to communicate with that person for that moment that we're reacting, and just remain silent if we can. And that's been my biggest lesson in my life, to just, whoa, this really hits my heart space when someone says something that they are oblivion to, that affects me. So yeah, forgiving our brothers and sisters, that's what I say, because they don't know what they're doing. They really don't. And I'm not religious. I'm not saying that verse from the Bible because I'm religious, but it really does make sense. Forgive those who don't know what they do, because they don't know what they're doing. Not everybody is, in how we feel, in our opinion, malicious in their, you know, their thinking, and they're just probably just a bit absent-minded, or they have 1,000,001 diagnoses, and God knows what that is. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you today, because I just want, you know, I want us all to just be one big happy family, this world. I really do. I wish we were all just aware of that doing that we do in our own mind, and make us more aware and more softer, I guess, and less critical, because it is such a short life. Yeah, well, that's all that I had to say, or I feel like saying, and I hope you're all doing well. Love to you all. Mwah.